This morning we want to continue our series with reference to relationships, building stronger relationships in the home. It's so important that we cultivate these relationships God has blessed us with. Our time this morning is Sailing the High Seas to a Happy Marriage. I thought that was a pretty picture. The wind is not too rough there. There is some wind and there are some waves. Sometimes in life, sometimes in marriage, there are turbulent seas. Sometimes there is danger. There's a threat to the home. It's important in our homes that we do not take the spirit of some, I'm just here along for the ride. You've heard that expression. Perhaps you have said it yourself. Just along for the ride. In life, whether you're talking about your life and your future and your direction, whether you're talking about your relationships in the home, pertaining to your mate and your children, we must not be passive. We must not be derelict. But we must be purposeful. We must be directional. We must be intentional in the direction of our relationships. Airplanes, the pilots, sometimes they set it on autopilot. And they climb up into a certain area of the plane and they can sleep, they can rest, relax for hours on the trip. You and I must not put our relationships on autopilot. The Apostle Paul, in writing about a couple of men, he talked about how that they, concerning their faith, had made shipwreck. You and I must be careful in our marriages that we do not allow our marriages to become shipwrecked. The Titanic was a vessel that was built in the early 1900s, maybe about 1910, its maiden voyage. It set out, and it was in operation for 2 or 3 years. It was a vessel that was considered to be unsinkable. We all know that for those who held such an opinion, whether it was the captain, whether it was those who owned the ship, whether it was those who were riding the ship on that fateful night of April the 14th, 1912, 1915. Make that 1912. I'll get it right in a minute. They thought it was unsinkable. That night, late that night, they were in icy waters. 6 times, I've recently learned that 6 times the captain was warned about the ice and the icebergs. He disregarded those warnings. He should have turned. He should have turned toward warmer waters. For you and me in our relationships, there are warnings. Oftentimes there are warning signs that you and I can see. We know that there's danger brewing. We need to alter our course. But sometimes we're like the captain on that ship. We're proud, arrogant, refuse to change course, refuse to go to the book, refuse to go and to consult with the one who made the home and marriage, and alter course before it is too late. You and I, if we're not careful, we can allow our relationships, our marriages, to wreck, to be destroyed. there were more than 1,500 people that died, that perished on the Titanic. After it struck, just under 3 hours, the ship sank. And again, more than 1,500 people perished. And when we allow our marriages, these precious relationships that God has given to us, to crash, to burn, to sink, it puts so many people, the souls of so many, in peril, in jeopardy. Divorce often results in the loss of souls. And so you and I would be wise. You and I would do well to go to the book and use it as our marriage manual, to consult with God to see how that we can make it safely from this side to the eternal shore, sailing the high seas to a happy marriage. We need to be concerned about the iceberg of isolation. Isolation. DeForest read for us a few moments ago from Genesis chapter 2, 18 through 24. In the long ago, when God had made Adam, He had him to name all the animals that He had created. But there was not a helper that was suitable, meet, or fit for him. God took a rib from Adam's side, and with that rib He fashioned a woman. Adam called her woman. She shall be called woman because she was taken from the man. God had said, it is not good that the man should be alone. The all-wise and all-loving God determined, I will make a helper fit for him. Because it was not good for him to be alone. So many of us, as men, we recognize that truth, that universal truth, that it is not good to be alone. There was a song that was written some time ago. One is the loneliest number. And I know that there are some of you in the assembly today who can so well identify with that for various reasons. Maybe your mate has gone on. And you know the agony, the pain of loneliness. And our hearts are with you. But God knew it was not good. And so, in the period of courtship, we spend time together. Oh, as much time as possible. We long to be in one another's company of the one that we love. And then we marry. And over time, sometimes things change. To where we sometimes want to be alone. When you desire to be isolated from your mate. When you had preferred to spend time away from your mate rather than being with your mate, that should be a warning sign to you that things are not as they should be in your home, in your marriage, in this relationship. How much time do you spend with your mate through the course of the week? I'm speaking about waking hours. You know, we have our busy schedules. We have our working hours. We work so much through the day and we come home exhausted, or maybe we're doing things recreationally. And before you know it, we can be spending the bulk of our days, the bulk of our time away from our mate. But we need to spend time together. Not isolated, not alone. I don't remember the exact number, Maybe it was somewhere between 15 and 25 hours a week. Maybe it was 25. One marriage counselor advised a married couple to spend 15 to 25 hours a week together. Spend that time together. Maybe it's in recreation. Whatever the case may be, you're together. Not apart, not isolated, not alone, but together. Companionship. We're talking about living together as one in this one flesh marriage that God has given to us. We are companions. There are other senses in which we are companions, working together, but this is a companionship that is closer, more intimate than any that man can ever experience or know. Companionship. And then there is another iceberg of a spirit of uncooperation. A spirit that is unforgiving. Or not unforgiving, but unyielding. A spirit that is stubborn, unwilling to aid one's partner. Cooperation. It's important in the marriage relationship that we work together as a team, that we work together as one. The Bible says in Genesis chapter 2, I will make him a helper fit for him. And so the woman is a God-given helper. A helper to the man, to her husband. There is give and take. And the husband, likewise, should be a helper to his wife. Not expecting her to do all the dirty work around the home, taking care of the children, taking care of all the responsibilities while he sits in leisure. There must be cooperation. Cooperation. I'm here to help you. What can I do to assist you? What can I do to bear your burden, to make your load easier? In homes that are in trouble, there is a lack of cooperation. Again, where there's pride, where there's arrogance, where there's this expectation for the other person to serve me, you serve me. You're here to please me. We're to please one another. We're to give and take. And then the iceberg of silence. In the years of courting, we love to talk, don't we? We talk. Communication is about sharing. Sharing thoughts, ideas, feelings, one's fears, one's hopes. Communication between husband and wife is that which brings them together as one. Again, it is a sharing, a mutual sharing in communication. We understand that communication has its barriers. There are oftentimes problems in any form of communication with others. Sometimes we get emotional. Sometimes we're angry. And sometimes that can lead to misunderstandings and anger. In Proverbs chapter 15 and verse 1, the wise man wrote, a soft answer taketh away strife. Angry words stirreth up wrath. We've got to be careful about the words that we employ to each other, because they make all the difference in the world. In Ecclesiastes 3 verse 7, there is a time to be silent, and there is a time to speak. In the marriage relationship, you and I have got to exercise wisdom, to know when to be silent, and to know the right time to speak and know the right kind of words to speak in the setting that you find yourself in. In Colossians 4 and verse 6, let your speech be always with salt, seasoned with grace. Let your speech be always with grace, seasoned with salt, that you may know how you should answer every man. You and I should speak words of grace to our mate, words of kindness. A study was made some years ago, reported in U.S. News and World Reports, about successful marriages versus marriages that did not last, ended in divorce. And for every statement or comment that was made to the spouse, those relationships were happy where there was maybe 5 negative remarks per 100 statements made. But over time, over the decades, oftentimes those relationships found themselves increasing, growing in the number of invalidating remarks to the mate. So that in a few years, sometimes it was more than 5 times the number of invalidating remarks. Those marriages are troubled and often end in divorce. What is the key? What is a key indicator in a troubled marriage? It is saying hurtful, demeaning things to your mate. Putting them down. Hurtful, cutting remarks. You might call it emotional abuse. Brethren in the church, you and I are God's people, we're Christians, and these things ought not to be. You and I in the church as Christians, being led of the Spirit, we've got to be controlling our thoughts and our words. That we do not, as the Titanic, ram the iceberg and destroy our marriage. Communication. Your words are words that are kind. Your words are words that build up, that strengthen your mate. Communication is so vital in the marriage relationship. Finally, that of commitment. You and I need to think about commitment. We live in a society that everything is disposable. We go to the store and we buy things that are disposable. But our relationships are different. Relationships are not disposable. And God has said with reference to the home and bringing the man and wife together, what God hath joined together, let not man dispose of. Let not man put asunder. Your mate is a person, made in the image of God. A person with a soul. Not disposable. Not to be thrown as a piece of trash in the dumpster or in the landfill. Commitment. You and I are to be committed to our mate. And that commitment that I am to have to my mate is a commitment that is unparalleled with any other human relationship. As we think about commitment, we're thinking about priority. My wife comes first, before any other person. Before our children, before parents, before the job, before anything else, with the exception of God above. You and I are to put our mate first. And therefore, because we are committed to this relationship, we're committed to our mate, We keep ourselves faithful sexually. We don't sleep around. We keep our eyes for our mate. We keep our heart for our mate because we're committed to this one flesh marriage relationship. God has blessed us beyond description and given us such a wonderful relationship with our mate in the home. May you and I not be negligent. May we never take him or her for granted. But may we grow a solid relationship, one that God designed the home and the marriage to be, to His glory, to the strengthening of the home, so that we can be the model of marriage that our children need. Our children are watching Mom and Dad. They learn so much about being a mom and a dad, a husband or wife, from seeing the model of their parents. And if you and I fail by negligence, if you and I hit the iceberg and destroy our home, what are we doing to our children? We say, I love my son and my daughter. I love my children. One of the greatest gifts that you can give your children is a strong, a solid Christian home. And as parents, one of the greatest gifts that you can do for your children who marry is to love and accept their mate. Parents need to be careful about undermining the relationship of their children and causing their children to lose their soul. Marriage is not to be taken lightly. Marriage in the home is serious business, and all eternity is at stake. Go to the book. Read. Study. Grow. Learn. Learn from the mistakes that you made. Learn from the mistakes that others have made. Stop repeating the same mistakes in marriage, in the marriage relationship. Let's grow to the glory of God. Building the home, making the home as God would have it. This morning, as you think about your life and your relationship with God, do you have that close, intimate relationship with Him? Jesus is the bridegroom. We as His people are His bride. Ephesians chapter 5, we see the commitment Jesus had for His bride in dying for her. That's the kind of commitment you and I need to have to each other and to the Lord. Are you in Christ? Have your sins been remitted, washed away by the blood of Christ? Today you can come for cleansing, for reconciliation. Be redeemed. As we sometimes sing, redeemed. How I love to proclaim it. Redeemed by the blood of the Lamb. Redeemed through His infinite mercy. His child, and forever I am. Today you become His child. Born of water and of the Spirit. be ushered into the eternal kingdom. If you erred by the wayside and need to come back home, be restored to your first love.